This is your complete guide on how to stop emotional manipulation with one psychological trick. If you keep walking away from conversations feeling guilty, confused, and somehow in trouble, even when you didn't do anything wrong, you're not too sensitive. You're being emotionally manipulated. And in the next few minutes you're giving me, I'm going to teach you a skill that can stay with you for the rest of your life. This video is part of my emotional self-defense series, and it might be the most important piece of it. Because once you learn this one trick, people can still try to manipulate you, but they won't be able to use your own kindness and guilt against you the same way again. Chapter 1. Why emotional manipulation works so well. Emotional manipulation is not random, it's a strategy. The manipulator isn't always a cartoon villain. Sometimes it's a partner, a parent, a friend, or a coworker who has learned, consciously or not, that certain moves make people fold. The pattern is almost always the same. Step 1. The manipulator pushes a button. Guilt, fear, shame, abandonment. Step 2. Your nervous system reacts. You stop thinking clearly and start defending yourself. And the moment you are defending yourself, the manipulator doesn't have to defend their behavior anymore. Think about the last time this happened. You set a small boundary. You said, "No," or "I can't do that today," or "I don't like when you talk to me like that." Instead of talking about the boundary, the manipulator flipped it back onto you. "You're so selfish. You're overreacting. Wow, I guess you never cared about me at all." Now the conversation is no longer about what they did. It's about who you are. You feel that hot wave of panic in your chest. You start scrambling to prove that you're not selfish, not crazy, not cold. You explain your entire backstory, your intentions, your feelings. Meanwhile, the manipulator is watching you twist yourself into knots, and the original issue quietly disappears. That's emotional manipulation. It works because it hijacks your identity. Most decent people are terrified of being seen as bad. Bad friend, bad partner, bad child, bad coworker. Manipulators know this, so they don't argue facts. They attack your identity. You end up in hours-long conversations that go nowhere, and at the end of it, you're exhausted, ashamed, and more compliant than before. The manipulator never had to change. They just had to make you feel like you were on trial. Here's the part most people never figure out. If you want to stop emotional manipulation, you don't need more evidence or better explanations. You need to step out of the courtroom entirely. You don't need stronger arguments. You need a different position. Chapter 2. The one trick. Here's the trick in one sentence. Stop defending your character and instead start naming what they're doing. Emotional manipulation depends on you taking the bait. The bait is the insult, the accusation, the guilt trip. You're selfish. You're ungrateful. You're crazy. If you really loved me, you would. The second you jump in with, "I'm not selfish, here's why," you are playing the role they assigned you. You're no longer the observer. You're the defendant. So instead, you do something most manipulators are not prepared for. You step outside the story and talk about the pattern itself. Instead of, "I'm not selfish, I do so much for you," you say something like, "You're calling me selfish because I said no." That's not a discussion, that's pressure. I'm not going to argue about my character. The answer is still no. Notice what just happened. You didn't defend yourself. You didn't attack them. You named the move and repeated your boundary. Another example is when someone says, "If you leave now, don't bother coming back." Old you would panic. Explain why you have to go, reassure them, promise you'll make it up to them. The new move sounds like, "Threatening to cut me off because I'm leaving is manipulation. I'm still going to go. If you want to talk about this calmly later, we can." Again, you're naming the behavior, not begging them to approve of you. You're saying, "I see the game. I'm not playing. Here's my decision." This one trick has 3 simple steps you can keep in your head. 1. Pause. When you feel that rush of guilt, shame, or panic, stop talking for a second. 2. Name. Describe the behavior, not yourself. "This feels like guilt tripping. This feels like you're trying to scare me. This feels like you're attacking my character instead of talking about what happened." 3. Restate. Come back to your boundary or your original point. "I'm still not coming. I still don't want to be spoken to like that. I'm still not comfortable with this. You don't have to say it perfectly. You just have to switch from defending who you are to describing what they're doing. This sounds small. It's not. For someone who is used to controlling you through emotional chaos, this is a complete role reversal. And you don't need 100 different techniques. You just need one habit. Whenever you feel that familiar rush in a conversation, you ask yourself, am I defending my character or am I describing what's actually happening? If you're defending your character, you switch. You stop defending. You start naming.